In the contemporary digital landscape of 2026, the viewer's attention span has become the world's rarest commodity. The moment your video's pixels settle into static complacency, their interest begins to dissipate, and the yawning abyss of infinite scroll beckons. Thus, harnessing the tools of retention editing transcends mere technicality. It becomes a discipline in cognitive engagement and audience orchestration. This lesson investigates the essential practice of employing B-roll and zooms not as ornamental accessories, but as pivotal instruments in your strategic arsenal. The science is rooted in evolutionary neurobiology. Humans are hardwired to respond to motion, to seek explanation in changing stimuli. When your video succumbs to visual inertia, remaining on a single, unchanging talking head, the viewer's subconscious triggers a disengagement protocol. Editing, therefore, must be construed as the structural integrity of your communication, providing rhythm, emphasis, and, above all, retention. Enter the pattern interrupt zoom. This maneuver is not predicated on multi-camera expenses, but instead on post-production ingenuity. By implementing deliberate punch-ins, a sudden 10 to 15% zoom when a salient point emerges, you create a visual accent. The human mind reads this abrupt shift as an annotation. Pay closer attention. Significance lies here. This simple motion not only commands renewed focus, but also reinforces the authority of the speaker, aligning visual urgency with conceptual importance. B-roll functions as a conceptual bridge, transforming abstract explanation into tangible reference. In the realm of wellness content, broaching a topic like cognitive decline need not linger as conceptual verbiage. A fleeting overlay, a swirling 3D rendering of the human brain, electrodes flickering, a serene individual immersed in meditation. These 2-second excerpts operate as cognitive rewards. The brain, encountering these illustrations, is not lulled but reinvigorated. Comprehension deepens as attention is rewarded with novelty and connection. B-roll is not filler. It is the lubrication of understanding. To elevate your strategic execution, employ the retention velocity formula. Define the visual change frequency V_F, calculated as the number of zooms, B-roll inserts, and text overlays divided by the video length in minutes. Industry leaders in short-form content maintain a V_F between 15 and 20 for a 60-second reel, ensuring a new visual stimulus every 3 to 4 seconds. The practitioner thus approaches their timeline not with arbitrary cuts, but with measured rhythm, sustaining interest as a composer maintains tempo. Dynamic zooms serve dual purposes. Punch-ins, as previously noted, incite energy. In contrast, the scale zoom applied via CapCut keyframes, scaling up a frame by 1% per second, imbues the video with a subtle sense of forward motion, almost imperceptible, yet psychologically tethered to the feeling of progress and narrative development. This sophisticated layer of motion gently draws the audience onward, mirroring a physical movement closer to revelation. Editing is, therefore, the breath of your video. Quick, sharp cuts energize, sustained, gentle zooms create a sense of intimacy and progression. Your technical choices, frequency, and method of visual alteration must always reflect the emotional architecture of your message. A tutorial on crisis management will differ in its cadence from a meditation guide. Both, however, refuse to surrender to the torpor of stillness. Ultimately, approaching your editing timeline as a musical score permits you to orchestrate engagement on both conscious and subconscious planes. The audience should not merely listen. They must experience, both visually and emotionally, the full spectrum of your insight. To master retention editing is to conduct a symphony. Every visual change a note, every moment of dynamic variation a measure, ensuring your educational and persuasive objectives are not just seen, but indelibly remembered.